You mentioned your dad gifted you a camera at 6th grade, which is a privilege. Does that term as a privilege?
100%,
That
yeah.
terms as a privilege. So that probably helped you to get to your current dream probably a year faster, probably even more faster than someone else who did not have access to cameras. For instance, in college, and this was a proper conversation that I had with another person, so I would just like to take 30 seconds and share that with you. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. Do you remember when we were in Pondicherry for a college event?
Yep.
Okay, it was a very hard...
Every single minute of it.
Okay, it was a very hard thing to pull off because we got permission to get no teachers, no faculty, and we didn't do anything wrong, but it was a brilliant of an event. We got 4 founders and everything, and you were the production head, if I can term it that way, because you made sure all the videos go out in the right way, right? Now, there was another cinematographer who was a professional. His name is Agil.
Agil,
Agil.
yeah, I do remember Agil.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So he used to, I think, back then work at the Hub Bengaluru. And Agil and I were talking when you were shooting from your camera. And Agil mentioned 2 things. One is that you were gymming back then. And Agil mentioned 2 things. He said, the first thing that he said was, Yugh is very talented and he's really good at handheld shots. It feels like he took it from a gimbal. And then he said something that kind of put me in a perspective. He didn't say anything wrong. He just said something that put me in a perspective that he said he's using a Sony Alpha. The shots are obviously going to look good. For me, that was like a thought breaker. Like, oh, I didn't know that. So probably the camera is doing 50% of his job. Probably, right? I'm just saying. Back then is what I thought. And the rest of the... see, with no offense to what you do, tool is something that you need to master. It's a personal thing. It's not like a kid can pick up the same camera and it's going to look good. But will it probably do 30% of the job? How do you look at this entire equation? That's what I mean by how much of a privilege is helping you get to your dreams faster. Accessibility to resources and tools and funds and people. Do creative people require it?
You know what? I feel like to an extent, it is kind of true. I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to be like, oh no, bro, all of us creators. Oh no, it depends on 100%. The creator. It's true, bro. Our tools help us get to where we need to get to. 100%. Because without this camera, I probably would have landed a high-ticket client. Yeah. That's a very huge possibility. Yeah. Probably is true. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like creativity is here. Okay. A camera can do as much as just capture. Right. Capture something well. Right. And this is how subjectively I look at it. The max it can do is capture something really well for you. Right. Everything else that you do in here, in your laptop, in your editing software, is where the art form takes place. Right. So even if the shot is great, or even if it's because of the camera, I still feel like it's not a testament to the end product. You can even shoot with an FX6 and make a very shitty commercial. Right. I have personally seen myself do that. Right. Not myself, sorry. I've seen people do that. I've seen people do that. And I've also seen people shoot videos. I've seen people shoot videos with digicams. Right. And it's been posted on the biggest of platforms and it's gone viral. These are music videos I'm talking about. They're shot with the shittiest of cameras. Yeah. But it's received very well. Does that mean, like, how does the equation measure over there? Right. Like, it doesn't make sense. Right. So the way I look at it is 100% definitely your tools help you, but it's not everything. Okay. And you have to accept it. Like, bro, it does make sense. Yeah. Like, it is because I have a MacBook today, I'm able to push out 2-3 big projects in a week. Correct. Because it can handle that power. Correct. But at the same time, it's up to me to put in the time and effort to do that. It's up to my mind to come up with ideas to, make sure the output is great. It's creativity is more of a human thing rather than a machine thing. It's about how well you decide the output needs to be, rather than having like a tool to capture it. Does that make sense? It does make sense. Yeah. But I just want to stab at this equation one last time. Now, all your tools, obviously you said that it is a very big help for you to do things, but unless you perform, nothing's going to move, right? That's what you mean. And I understand that. I agree to that question as well.
accessibility to tools again is a privilege, right? Let's call it a cushion for my, so that my question is framed better. Yugh MS probably had a cushion to fall on. Did you jump higher because you knew that probably money wasn't that big of a problem for you, because you weren't thrown away from house where you had to face rent by yourself? Did you get into the entire uncertainty of freelancing because somewhere subconsciously you knew that a cushion was present for you? So in a way, I want to put you in this uncomfortable zone where, do you think that you did not face life as its true nature, where for some people life is very unforgiving? It's not flowers and it's not a bed of roses. Do you think you had a bed of roses?
See, the way I look at it is, everybody has been dealt their own set of cards when they're born into a family.
Of course.
What you choose to do with those deck of cards is up to you.
Right.
And that's just what it is. Like, sure, I definitely come from a privileged background where tomorrow if I can't have a meal, I'm not going to, but I can ask my parents for money.
Correct.
But at the same time, just because I'm privileged is not the reason why I dropped out of college. I feel like my reasons were a lot deeper than that. It was it was very personal to me.
Right.
Yeah, sure, maybe a little bit of confidence came from this. But again, bro, like, one understanding that I've gotten out of life is everybody has been dealt with advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
So you can't sit here crying as a creative saying, oh, I wasn't born in the US, I can't earn in dollars.
Right.
You need to first play with the cards you're dealt with and eventually figure out a way to get to that point. You want to earn in dollars, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
You aren't dealt with those cards today, but you will have to work for it. So what I feel like is everybody is dealt a certain set of cards. How you decide to play the game is on you. I feel like, yes, some of us are really privileged to do what we do because we come from stable families where, we don't have the pressure to pay rent, even though some of us do.
Yeah.
We don't have the pressure to pay rent. We don't have the pressure to feed a family. We don't have the pressure to, let's say, pay for a team, whatever it is.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's how you play the game with the cards that you've been dealt. Now, you can be a lazy person and be like, hey, I have a family that supports me. I can chill. I can only take on projects when they come and do nothing about it. And only work when you have work and not put in any sort of work when you don't have work. You get where I'm going with this. It completely depends on you as a person. And I feel like when people frame it in a way saying, oh, he was privileged, that's why he dropped out, is a very wrong way to put it, and I'll tell you why. Could be a very controversial opinion because I've been on that side.
Right.
I did not drop out of college because this is not me justifying what you said, but I'm just giving you some context in terms of where I'm going in the conversation. But I did not drop out of college because I was privileged. I stopped taking money from my parents when I was in college only because I was making enough as a freelancer.
Yeah.
But I dropped out of college because I had to prove to myself that eventually, like, it's a statement that I'm making to myself that I can make it. I will make it. And this had no connection to do with my family's backing. But at the same time, when I did drop out of college, my parents were supportive. My dad was very supportive. He's like, see, okay, fine, I see it. I see what you're trying to tell me. I see it in you. Go for it. Do it.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have happened if my family wasn't as well to do. Which is, I feel like an 80-20 movement over there. But again, bro, like, everybody's privileged in some way.
Yeah.
Everybody's been dealt with a certain deck of cards. It just depends on how you play the game. That's just how I see the world. Because you can't be stupid and tell yourself that, bro, even though my dad's rich, I'm not going to use any of his money. You will end up using. I think it's better if you do use the resources that he's built up for you.
Yeah.
So it can take you further.
Yeah.
And not in a very abusive way.
Correct.
Don't abuse your dad's resources or whatever it is. You get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's very important to understand what the cards are that have been dealt to you and use it to your advantage. I feel like somebody who says something like, because I used to be that kid, bro. I used to go around telling everybody that, oh, I'm not going to take this. But I've understood the power of knowing what privileges you have and how to use it to your advantages. Hold against. Like, it's a very powerful thing. And the sooner I feel like you understand that aspect of it and move forward, the better for you. So that's how I look at it.